Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to What's in the Glass digital beer stream, and it's Wednesday 29th of April. Welcome everyone. How are you guys? I hope you're keeping safe yourself. I hope you're all good. I hope you're having good beers. I hope you're having good food in these days. And one more time, welcome to Digital Beer Stream. And hello Daniele, how you doing? And the ground stream for today is our Wednesday two-way live in conversation with the London best beer stockist. So in these days, mostly bottle shops, and it's a super, pleasure for me to be here with you. So I hope you're gonna enjoy today's episode. So Digital Beer Stream is my interpretation to try to fight the boredom of this pandemic crisis with all of you guys. So every single day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we focus on a specific topic. We have some special guests and we're just discussing the beer world. So I'm having quite I would say set up during these days. So normally I do like a recall of all it's happened. So this is our IPA week, which means I normally drink a single style. This week's style is IPA. So for today I'm having the Loriquette from Pressure Drop. Don't know if you know the brewery, is one of the best brewery in London, and the guys are based in North London and they have a beautiful bar in East London as well. You please check it out. And this is a Galaxy New England IPA, which means I'm expecting from this beer big fruity hops, and Galaxy is a very tropical pungent hop, and they seems to use quite a lot of hops in this beer, like drop of hop at 20 grams per liter. So I'm expecting like a super fruity hop bomb in the face. And I'm not having this type of beer very often, so I'm really excited. One more time, the Loriquette from Pressure Drop. And there is a bottle shop for this week, and the bottle shop is Hopbirds and Black. And Hopbirds and Black is a craft beer, hot sauce, cider, wine and good time shop based in South London with two different venues. And today's guest is Jen from the Hopbirds and Black itself. And Jen and Glenn, their partner in crime, opened up the Hopbirds and Black in 2014. And they have two branches, one in Peckham and one in East Dulwich. And one in Peckham, East Dulwich and one in Deptford. They are operating at the moment 100% online through their shop. And Jen spent many years into PR and then doing magazines and radio as well. And then she did in UK and in New Zealand. And Glenn, Glenn, they're having a big passion for all good things in this life: beer, wine, music and spicy things like the sauces. And today we're going to discuss what is the actual role for the bottle shops. So are bottle shops normally creating or interpreting beer trends? And another big question out there will be if the off-trade will be the only way for people to get beer, or maybe not. So this is a very important question. All of us, asking that, and it's a pretty interesting, conversation to have. And I also want to give a big shout to whoever does a big work right now for this industry and the other. So I'm having a t-shirt, which is the Kill Me Now gallery in Margate from a good friend of mine, Luke. And the shout is going to the COVID-19 and freelance artist. And it's a website that is being specifically designed to freelance artists. And the one interested in it's basically to support independent realities and independent artists, and it works for actors, designers, producers, technicians, stage managers, musicians, composer, photographers, dancers, writers, all sorts of it. So big shout to COVID-19 and freelance artists. And really want to crack on with this beer. In the meantime, then I'm waiting for the guys from Hopbirds and Black. So please Check it out, this beauty. Oh, I'm always expecting this. Look at that. Super juicy, super cloudy, massive bee bomb. So I see Jen just connected, so please be ready to welcome her second on this live. Can't wait. And in the meantime, oh man, look at that. Ooh. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Nice to have you here. I know how busy you are, so big respect for this. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's nice to be here. And I too am going to crack into a beer.
Well, you're having it.
This just came in today. It's a new rebrew from North. It is a double dry hop transmission. Literally turned up on the courier network about 3 hours ago. So
wow,
nice and cold. And here we go.
Lovely. And you know, I'm normally doing this beautiful thing, which I can't do anything else than a digital cheers.
Cheers.
So first of all, I really want to say how great your service has been. When I ordered the beer from you guys, like the beer arrived straight away, and you know it's really important in these days. So you're really doing well. Congratulations, it's great.
Thank you.
You know, the city really, you know, miss beer if they can't or if they hardly can get it. So it's really remarkable. And every day I'm doing like big shout to people that deserve a bit of, you know, love and collaboration. I was talking just about this COVID-19 and freelance artist website. And it's a research for people that are working as a freelance artist to, you know, trying to get a bit of attention or work or who knows, you know, a bit of help in general. And what would I have to say to you? You opened up a shop in your first shop quite a couple of years ago, right? Like 2014?
2014, yeah, November 2014, so just before Christmas that year. So it's a fun time to open a bottle shop because you kind of really throw yourself in the deep end, opening just before Christmas time. It is a good, a baptism of fire, but it's also really good because it gets the cash flow going. Because obviously, you know, as a new shop, it's quite nice to go from having, you know, hardly any customers to suddenly having loads of customers, and so it sets you up for January when it goes back to being dry January again. But yeah, so yeah, the Peckham shop. What's that? 5.5 years now.
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
And you know, it's very inspirational for me to believe and know that you can really, you know, survive with your own passion. You can create something remarkable, something that, in my personal opinion, I haven't seen it yet. Like selling, being able to have a range of some of the most beautiful things in life ever, and you know, really becoming a connoisseur, and two more important things: the fact that you did it with your lovely one, so with your wife, with your partner, and also, you know,
My wife.
well, you know, and the fact that you also made it in an interesting area in London, because I'm sure 5.5 years ago, the industry and London itself was a bit different, right?
Yeah, it's a funny thing because it kind of craft beer wasn't new at the time, but it wasn't mainstream by any stretch of the imagination. I think shop wise, I think you had Clapton Craft, obviously Real Ale had been going for ages. Maybe We Brought Beer had just opened up as well, but yeah, you could kind of count them on one hand. And so we knew that we wanted to open a beer shop, but we also knew we wanted to be a little bit different, because we liked a lot of things. Obviously beer was one of our biggest passions, but we also, you know, really loved hot sauce, and we really loved wine, and we really loved cider, and obviously we love records. You can probably see some in the background.
Exactly.
And there was kind of, yeah, it was quite liberating because we thought, well, why not just do everything? If we're going to throw in the day job and go and do something completely out of our comfort zone, why not do something that we love? So something that's going to make us excited to go to work every day. And so we did.
And I can tell everyone that deal with you as a you know, guest, as buying all of the good stuff that you sell, and also like people that work for you. Like I've been in this industry from quite a while, and there are a few names that people have a massive respect, and Hoblands and Black is definitely one of them. So you're doing well.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm telling you. And another interesting thing it was the fact that when I was chatting, for example, with Nigel from Mother Kelly's, he told me that he got inspiration from a trip that he did in New York, and there were lots of beer shops over there and doing like interesting stuff, and he wanted to almost like get there and replicate it in a city like London. And how did you get your inspiration when you started, before you started?
Yeah, it's funny actually. We went to New York a few years later. I'd been to New York before, but not kind of with a beer mind. But when we went to New York about 3 years ago, we had exactly the same experience. We actually came back and thought, what can we do for a future shop? And so we had all these ideas, which we would have rolled out probably at some point if this current thing hadn't come about. So yeah, New York's definitely a big inspiration, but for us it wasn't ours. Trying to think where we'd kind of been inspired. I think what mostly inspired us was what we were seeing around us. We're lucky to live in Peckham. We live literally 2 minutes walk from the shop.
Lovely.
And it's such it's a fantastic place to live because it's friendly, it's very community centric, and it's like so many things in London, it's a village.
Yeah.
So there was a load of great community stuff happening already. And I think we just really wanted to be part of that, and we wanted to create a place where people could go, mostly serving the local community. And I think we had been inspired actually by the dearly departed beer boutique, the original Putney shop, which obviously is now Ghostwhale. They had a drink-in facility. And it's the first time that we'd been to a bottle shop outside of going to Paris. We're of course in Paris and in a lot of the European places you can, buy wine and beer to take away, and you can also sit down and have a drink. So it was a mixture of that, and seeing, Beer Boutique being able to do that in London, we kind of thought, okay, so obviously licensing will allow this. We've got to make this happen, because having the drink-in facility just adds such a great vibe to the shop, especially on a sunny day. Obviously who knows when it will happen again, but summers when all those outside tables are full, or even winter nights when you've got our inside tables. We've got a bunch of regulars, we call them Statler and Waldorf, and
I like that.
they all sit there and barrack at each other, and we all get to taste lots of beers, and it's it's just such a great vibe, and hopefully we can get back to that at some point further down the track.
You managed to readapt your business and yourself in a very effective and quick way, which is probably what many other breweries or bottle shop are doing these days. But again, when all of this is going to be gone for good, I'm sure people are going to try to look to safe ways to share time again, and this is drive me on the main question for me, which is, as a bottle shop, what do you think? Do you create or do you interpret beer trends? In terms of, if I'm now drinking this beer, is because I know pressure drop, and because I'm interested to try Galaxy hop beers. But what about someone that just get into the shop? Like, you must helping them along the selection that you have, right?
Yep.
And
yeah, I mean, it's I think it's interesting. There's lots of different customers. There's a customer that's the absolute novice for craft beer. They know about it. They might have tried a Camden or a Beavertown in a pub somewhere, but they want to explore it further. And it's our job to kind of take them on that journey and get them excited. Something I think that's changed a lot since when we first started in 2014. I think at that point we had a lot of customers who were, real kind of craft beer and quite skeptical about craft beer, especially where we are in Southeast London. I think if people looked at us as being some kind of weird hipster shop, and I mean, hey, craft beer, hot sauce and records, it's an easy to judge us by. But when we get people coming in being, almost a little bit trepidatious, like, gosh, we're going into this, I know nothing about this. This is a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I think the most important thing that we've always had is having that enthusiasm,
Right.
and trying to take people on that journey. And as far as trends come, craft beer, as we all know, is a really trend-driven thing. We all went crazy for hops, and then we all went crazy for haze, and then, impy stouts are the thing, and pastry stouts, and it's changing all the time. But I think it's a little bit of both for a beer shop. I think you have to interpret, you have to be very aware of what the trends are.
Right.
And you have to make sure that you're serving the demands of your customers. But you also have to be trying to bring them into something new. So, from a commercial sense, you need to make sure that you're providing the hype beers and the stuff that people want. But it's important not to lose sight of what's important, which is the quality. And we try to always make sure that we're only selling beers that we're really passionate about, and breweries that we know are going to be reliable and are going to bring out a consistently good product. And we also need to make sure that people have a really wide option of stuff that's not just your big hazy IPAs, because there's a lot more out there. And I think we've been quite successful, because we are obviously madly passionate about beer, as are most bottle shop owners. We're not unique in that by any means, but I think people see us as being genuine and authentic. So if we get really excited about something, people feel that that's something worth getting excited about. We always really like, especially with say all killer no filler subscription box. It's 10 to 12 beers every month. Some of them are going to be hazy IPAs. Some of them are going to be your big hype dippers. There's certainly going to be an impy stout in there. But we're also going to throw in like our favorite German lager. We're going to go and try and find like some amazing Belgian Saison. There's so many things that we want to try and open people's eyes to. And I think what's important for bottle shop owners is to never lose that sense of excitement and adventure and exploration, because you want to pass it on to the people that you're selling your beer to, and make them feel that same kind of like excitement.
It's something that I always loved about the craft beer bars. If I'm becoming kind of a regular when I'm, visiting a specific bar or a pub in London, maybe when Moritz is behind the bar, or maybe, when
always.
If I'm going up where that guy is, I'm sure he's gonna do, try this. I love the try this, because again, it's becoming an intimate situation where I truly truly trust what this guy is giving me, and he knows I'm doing that. And then the relation between the vendor and the customer it's full of hope and joy. And when I came to your shop, I was with Alex from London Fields, and we were discussing about what to get, and there was a wine tasting inside the shop, and you were inviting people to listen what this guy had to say, and this guy was giving like tasting around, and we ended up to spend an hour there, and few people from the industry came, people that I never met before. We spent 2 hours, and it was like perfect, easy. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the power of recommendation, but also the power of personal recommendation. There's nothing better. I mean, I remember just when I started out on my drinking journey when I was a student, a high school student too. I was drinking underage for a very long time. But to be going into a pub where the bartender knows your name and knows what you're going to drink before you put your order in, it's amazing. It always still brings you with a sense of just here's my place. It's that wonderful thing that we never really get tired of, and I think that's why you get long-term hospitality professionals. And we're not long-term by any sense of the word. We've been doing this for 5.5 years. Before this, we were not involved in hospo at all. But I think that's why people stay in hospitality for so long and make a career of it, because it's that human interaction all the time. And that, even it's the smallest thing, but just by choosing the right beer for the right person, it's just a little, as you say, it's a little bit of joy.
Yeah, It is really change your day, especially in a city like London where we're all very busy, we're running. We sometimes forget that there is a bit more than just get your six pack, go home alone, and that's it. And you can also give advice to people that maybe have, a dinner or they want to cook something special. I'm sure you can because there is a book that proves that you're capable to do it. So
Yeah, and that came about as well as this, how do we keep adding value to people? I mean, and we know that, at home, Glenn and I were always like, well, let's, what can we drink with this? We're lucky enough to be like kids in a candy store that we can choose from an entire shop full of beer.
yeah.
If we want to have a special occasion and have a nice dinner, we will be able to find the beer to match. So let's make it really easy for everyone. And obviously we've been able to hook up with the wonderful Claire Bullen, who writes a monthly beer and also a monthly wine and food matching column.
Let me get the book. I had to.
Ah! I don't even have a copy here. That's terrible. I've got a battered one at work.
This
there it is
the main reason because I'm capable to try some of the hardest beer style for not beer drinker, like somehow this beer is, with my wife, because I'm like, look at here, that food will work well with this beer. Let's try it. Let's go for it. And it really, really makes a difference having someone that just rub your hand and go for the journey. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And I think, what Claire's, I think Claire kind of epitomized what we wanted to achieve with the book is like, we want to bring craft beer to the table because, we're drinking in all aspects of our life, especially now, drinking all the time. But, being able to give craft beer this place at the table where wine is, people think nothing about spending, a lot of money on a lovely bottle of wine to drink with dinner.
Yep.
But people balk at, at a slightly more expensive Belgian beer or something like that. Well, why would I pay this much? It's like, we know these things are equivalent. And one of those ways to show this equivalence is by saying how wonderfully, beer, I reckon it works if as well, if not better. There's so many different styles of beer to choose from. You will definitely find any kind with you will find the perfect match for your meal.
It's a good time to be a drinker. I always say that. It's a real, real great time to be a drinker. And you mentioned before the beautiful sharing experience on being in a pub and, drink and communicate and everything. So the second big question for me, for you today is to explore with me is, we don't know what's going to happen. The biggest question out there is, are pubs are going to be open again? And, I know it's
I hope so, because we all love pubs, right?
Exactly. And there are people working into pubs, with pubs, around pubs, from licensing to furniture and line cleaner guys and cellar management, all sorts of stuff. So do you think there is a way to have, again, places where people will find a place to drink together? And if yes, soon, not really soon, what do you think?
It's just so hard, isn't it? Because we just don't know what is going to happen here. And I think, I'm not going to get into how well the UK has handled this crisis or not. Obviously, I come from New Zealand. It's been a very different way of tackling it over there. But I think it's going to be a long time before even the thought of going and being around lots of people seems normal again. I find myself watching TV, obviously, old stuff that was filmed, 6 months, a year, 20 years ago. And it's like, oh my God, they're hugging, they're touching hands, they're rubbing their face. It's so weird how quickly this has become an alien concept to us. Mm. So it really, I can't see it happening this year, personally, which is terrible. But I think what the important thing is the importance of the hospitality industry to the UK. Pubs and restaurants play such an enormous part, not just in the number of people that they employ, but the psyche of anyone that lives here. It's really, really, really important for the government to do all it can to support this sector. I know today was the national timeout that's got a lot of stuff on the social media today and a lot of support, which absolutely we're fully behind. But I think there has to be something to save this industry. And I think broader than that, it's an ecosystem that we all operate in. You know, there's retailers, there's wholesalers, there's breweries, there's pubs, there's restaurants. We're all trying to find where our place is in you know, the temporary new world. I think we've all got to have each other's backs. I think, you know, in the time being, until things change, until we can go to the pub again, until we don't feel weird about being in proximity to strangers, we do have to. It is going to be bottle shops that are kind of picking up most of the slack.
Exactly.
And we, you know, talking with lots of other bottle shop owners, we've got little Facebook forums and things. We're all, you know, it's quite a tight-knit group, and we're all very supportive of each other. And everyone's just trying to do their best. You know, the alcohol sales have surged since March. I think it was something like 31.4% increase on retail sales. And what that means is that, you know, we can support breweries, help get their product out until the pubs come back. I don't think we can replace, obviously, the volumes that pubs are doing, but we can give it a bloody good show. And that's all we can do, really, I think, is do our best to support everyone, thinking that on the other side, we're all going to come out. Yeah, some of us won't survive, some of us will, but we've got to make sure and give everyone the best chance that we have to come out the other side, being able to trade again and get back to some sense of normality.
You'd be very happy to hear then the most frequent question on my daily life is about friends that aren't really into beer as I am, asking me for the area where they live, where they should order beer from. So it's like, hey dude, I'm in Brixton. Who should I call? Where should I have a look? Do you know what's better? Do you know what should I order? I'm gonna eat these. I've got, I don't know, like bread until the end of the week. What kind of style? So there is a request out there, definitely, of people, from the people to know where they should get the beer that is not the one that they can easily find in supermarkets. Because, yes, please, just not all the beers from supermarkets, you know?
But I think as well, there seems to be a kind of moving away from the supermarkets. People are rediscovering the joys of independent shops. You know, we've always been there, but suddenly people, you know, there's a real sense of camaraderie. People want to support their local shops. They want to, I think, you know, I was reading in the wonderful Wine Merchant magazine recently, they were saying how everyone's finding that there's a surge, people coming back and just wanting to support the people down the road. Which is great, and I think, you know, we've got to keep that going, because at the end of this, the high street is going to be decimated. You know, we had the first business in our strip closed down this week, and it was heartbreaking. And it won't be the first. It won't be, you know, that certainly was the first. It won't be the last. The high street's going to be a very, very different place, and probably the people that will still be standing are alcohol retailers, whereas, you know, touch wood. And food and drink places, but we've got to think about what that high street looks like afterwards. And please, you know, let's hope that it's going to stay vibrant and get back to being somewhere where it was. I just saw a comment come through from Aura Brewing. Hey Danielle, just asking about quarantine, whether people are drinking different styles, different formats, different ABVs. Yeah, I mean, certainly for us, I think we saw like Gypsy Hill Hepcat, for example. March this year compared to March last year, I think it was something like about 500% or something. It was insane. You know, we were selling, you know, those lovely little core session IPAs by the case. And yeah, certainly people they don't want to go out much, or they don't want to sort of tax people by ordering small things often. So they're kind of buying in bulk, getting their weeks or the 2 weeks or their however much delivered. So yeah, session beers are definitely up. I would say red wine definitely was up for a long time in March. I think there was a lot of drowning of the sorrows. It seems to be leveling out a little bit. I think people are kind of realizing that we're going to be in this for a while, and also that businesses are continuing to survive. So I think there was real panic, and I look back to the last weekend that we were open before we took the decision to close the shops, which is before the lockdown was announced. But it was actually quite hot. It was horrible. it was really sad, and just thinking about it makes me feel a bit sick, because people were panicking. They were quite cheery, you know, kind of, gosh, this is weird, isn't it? But you could tell that there was a real deep-seated, absolute terrified
Almost like lost.
feeling. Yeah, just like, Jesus, this is going to be the last time I can leave the house. Is this going to be the last time I can go to this shop? What happens next? And I think people have, you know, possibly thought, well, we're maybe things won't change too much for the foreseeable future, so I possibly don't have to go crazy and get my nuclear bunker the size of orders. Maybe these guys will be around for a while, and maybe I'll be around for a while to keep ordering. But
I remember Dan from Indie Beers, the guys, Owen told me then he was very surprised to see then, you know, mainland Belgian, mainland German beers then he normally doesn't sell, or even like alcohol-free and kombucha and you know, soft drinks were literally flying out from the shelves. So he said there has been a time where people, in a very schizophrenic way, as you just said, were almost like trying to grab as much stuff they could.
Give me all the booze. Yeah. Come to daddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure if you were selling even snacks, I'm sure people will order it because, God, I want that snack with my beer and I don't know when I'm going to have it again. So definitely, yes, it's probably it's probably something like that. And you know, again, I almost felt a bit like disappointed when I heard them. People were calling their tap room, their bars, their pubs, bottle shops or off trade, you know, units. You are a bottle shop. A brew and sell their own beers from the closed tap room isn't a bottle shop. Because at the end of the day, I can give you a call and you can tell me what's new for the available time that you have, but it's a different service. It's not just chucking the beer to someone's van and deliver it. You keep doing a service, even just with your social media, right?
Yeah.
So this is completely different. And what's next then for you know, Hot Burns and Black? Like, are you trying to still push the best stuff out there with positivity and hope?
Absolutely. You know, we've I think we saw a little bit of a dip with, you know, supply from breweries. I think, you know, obviously when the government said pubs are closing and when there was uncertainty about whether off licenses and tap rooms could stay open, I think, you know, there were a number of breweries that kind of down tools immediately, and kind of there was a pause in the brewing schedule. And so at the last couple of weeks, I think it was a little bit harder to get the beers we wanted, but I think most of the breweries now seem to be back on track.
Yeah.
And so we've got, we're mostly able to get, you know, the beers that we want. You know, there's some great beers happening as well. It's great to see just people keeping on and just doing the stuff that everyone loves to see. I mean, this week alone, I think we had a big drop from Mills Brewing, we had a big drop from Daya, we had a big drop from Verdant. It was just yeah, it's a good week for the hype guys.
Yeah, I noticed that. You've been very nice.
But, I mean, yeah, I mean, for us, we keep on keeping on. We're operating with a staff of 4, down from 7, because obviously we don't have our shops open. Yeah. So we're pretty much doing everything out of our storage unit and our Peckham shop. And you know, we're kind of getting into a good routine where, you know, we're kind of doing as much as we can handle. We want to make sure that our priority above everything else is making sure that our staff are safe and that our customers are safe. So we don't want to bring everyone back to work because they're all in their own bubbles. You know, we don't need to be, you know, we've got the staff we need that have got nice tight bubbles. We know that we're not going to get sick, touch wood. And yeah, I think we just keep on keeping on and just see what happens. It's, yeah, God, everything just, yeah, the decisions that you're making on a daily basis now. If you had to think about that a year ago, it's just, everything is just bizarre, isn't it? It's bonkers.
I'm trying to visualize your shop full of boxes everywhere.
Oh, it's madness. Honestly, don't try and do it. It's like, yeah. I think I saw Jan from Marble tweeted a picture of their brewery packing up all these boxes, and she said, "Oh, it looks like a really bizarre Santa's grotto." And ours is like, it puts the grot in grotto, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just boxes everywhere. It's big lines of things because we're doing local deliveries, and I have to just say, just local deliveries we feel so privileged to be able to do this. It's amazing to, to be able to get out of the house, and be permitted to do that. But just seeing all of our customers out on these local delivery runs, it's really good for the mental health.
100%.
Especially because London is looking amazing right now. It's not today, obviously. It's been a bit shit, but it's springtime. It's London. People are so happy to see you with a big box of booze. It's great. It's very good for lifting the spirits. So I want to thank all of our customers that make it possible for us to jaunt around and say.
I'm sure they're not gonna run away from you, because again, they will keep buying stuff from you guys, because you're doing a great job. And big party soon, or wherever we can. Shall we try to
Absolutely. I think there's so many parties that don't you just think we haven't had our staff Christmas party yet. We had to postpone it. We were supposed to do it on the 17th of March or something like that.
Oh wow.
That ain't happening. But what's the first thing you're going to do when you when the lockdown is lifted? Or no, not the lockdown. When we get back to normal life, when we go back and hang out with people, and what will be the first place you go?
I think I will get the Piccadilly line straight to central London, probably going out in Piccadilly Circus, have a nice walk, go straight to the Harp, get a lovely fresh pint of, hopefully, I don't know, a Colonel table, have 25 of them, but I'm sure I'm not gonna find Colonel table on cask. So landlord, big chief, give me something, plateau, something like that.
That would be good.
Yeah, I think a couple of them, just being relaxed enough to saying, right, the world is somehow a better place right now. We can breathe, we can have a drink again, and and maybe just walk on my way back to Finsbury Park again, and walk and see normality and see the daily routine. This is what I miss. I can go out. I know I can. If I was in Italy, I couldn't. I can in here, but still, it's very dystopic. It's not real London. It's not the part of the city that I know that well. It's different. It's obscure. People don't want to get too close to you, even if you wear a mask. It's like, I don't want to see this,
Yeah, that's such a. It's going to take a lot of adjustment to get back to thinking of things as the old ways as being normal. It's
yeah. Well, in the meantime, I'm just trying to get as many beautiful half an hours, or be more in this case, chats I can with industry people.
If I've been rambling on, probably.
Oh well, try to
give me a glass of IPA. I'll talk the hind leg of a donkey.
This is fantastic, by the way, and thank you as well.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Thanks for the boxcar drop as well. You've been very, very nice, and it's been very sweet from you. And I can't wait to cracking on Friday. That's the plan. And just don't want to take too much time from you. I know you're busy, and you've been super nice to share this half an hour a bit more with me. And I wish you guys to being smoothly busy, and to manage to just be happy and keep going, and until we see the next phase 2, wherever it will be.
Yeah. Well, just one last plug before we go. I wanted to firstly just say happy first birthday to Peckham magazine, which turns 1 on Friday, and we will be celebrating, as we do every Friday.
Okay.
With HB&B TV. If you haven't tuned into HB&B TV, just basically playing our way through all of these records on some turntables. I don't know if they even showed there. That's probably, there's a lot of mess there.
That's fine.
But yeah, we do it every Friday night. Everyone's welcome to join. You can just go to our website, or you go to bit.ly/hbb-tv, and we play records. We talk nonsense. We have loads of people joining in and dancing in the living room, and we would love to see you there.
What kind of music are you going to play for the next one? Do you have an idea or whatever?
Well, it's always, yeah, we play a lot of funk and soul and disco. Glenn always just finds some weird stuff and throws that in there. But yeah, I'm pretty much Glenn's digital. I'm vinyl. So my objective is to not repeat any records for as long as this lockdown goes on. So it's great. I found all the stuff that I forgot that I owned. So
I feel like
it's been brilliant. So
if I ever gonna do what's on the turntable or what's on your deck soon project, I'm sure you're gonna be the first guest, or you or Glenn, because music is another good thing that we should speak more in these days.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you on Friday then.
See you on Friday. Guys,
see you, Dan.
See you on Friday, please. Thank you very much again.
Sure.
All the best.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
See you soon.
Ciao, ciao.